Can you see us?
I
was expecting dig it.
Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Ozarka.
No, it's not. Don't lie.
We're not sponsored by Ozarka. We just have it.
It's an inexpensive water, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Inexpensive water. It's not Nestle. I was very specific. We will not buy Nestle. Fuck Nestle. I think we can all agree. Fuck Nestle.
There's apparently a Texas-specific water or something.
I mean,
Fuck
that's
Nestle.
Texas?
That's what's going on with the logo. It's a big old star with Texas stuff.
Ozarka is Texas, isn't it?
It's Texas.
I had never
logo.
seen this water before moving down here, so I don't think it's a widely released.
Hey, people on the East Coast, do you have Ozarka? Probably not, since it's got a Texas logo on it.
Sound off and tell us if you've ever Ozarka'd.
It's water made in Texas.
Why fuck Nestle? Because Nestle is an evil corporation.
No, they're pretty bad. Yeah.
Who's commodified living, commodified lives, stolen water from people, and they have fucking
They're a
like
large
slave
corporation.
lines. Yeah, they
They have
literally
some foul business practices.
They literally have
let's say.
slaves in South America, was it, or Africa?
I have no idea. I know. I've just heard a lot of hearsay, terrible stuff about them.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking terrible.
Again, they're a mega corporation. I assume they're evil.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Yeah, a safe assumption to make. It's a pretty guilty until proven innocent situation with those.
Yeah. And if they don't like it, well then maybe they should stop.
Then stop being a big corporation.
Or moreover, maybe hold other corporations accountable. I don't know. Fucking.
No ethical consumption under capitalism.
Exactly. But
that's a Venn diagram that just doesn't.
Let's unethically consume some anime then.
I don't. I still don't believe we can technically ethically consume anime. Considering the
working conditions of the animators.
Yeah, working conditions for animators. But we'll do our best.
Yeah. What time is it? It's 5:01. We can actually talk about the anime.
I think it's time for us to talk.
Can I just say I can never remember that it's Red Riot. I always think it's Red Rocket.
Well, I know why you
that's very different.
It's very different.
But to be fair, I definitely make that mistake as well.
Yeah.
This episode, boy howdy, my favorite of the season so far. Easy.
I saw that on Twitter. I was excited.
And we kick off with a really cool, looking fight between two nameless villains.
Yeah, all of a sudden, some big ass action in a sequence that I don't remember from the manga. Chat, let me know if this was anime only scene. I feel like it was, but I could be wrong.
Was the scene with Froppy,
Uraraka, and Ryu, and the big three girl?
I forget her name.
Nejira and Ryukyu was like the number 9 villain or whatever they were working under. Hero they were working under.
Yeah, number 9 though!
Yeah.
That's what the Japanese one had.
Ooh. She was the Dragoon hero. We never got a breakdown of what her power is, but I think her design is really cool.
Yeah, she got dragon wings on her head. So
I bet you that we'll get I bet you'll never actually get her powers. I bet Kohei Horikoshi was like, this is a cool design.
This looks cool.
Something about Spark was in her.
She was just the Dragoon hero, was according to.
Oh no, sorry. I was talking about Nejira.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know what her deal was, but she has a cool design.
She has some sort of laser thing.
Horikoshi always has cool designs.
Apparently, it was in the manga, but it was expanded here. That makes sense. I thought I remembered something along the lines.
Okay.
The animation for specifically the two giants fighting each other initially, and the sweeping shots looked incredible to me. I'm not an animation person, as far as knowing technical terms and styles and stuff like that, but that looked really cool, and I really liked watching.
It was a bump up in quality, I think, for the entire season so far, and just for the first 30 seconds of an episode, then we're done.
For these two nameless villains who will not be remembered for anything ever.
I guess someone was just feeling it.
Yeah,
and they just really wanted to do something.
I was into it. It definitely got me in the mood for this episode right out the gate. I was very, very into that. But we see Froppy and Uraraka working with oh man, I'm gonna keep forgetting her name. Jirei, the girl, the big 3 girl. Nejira.
Yeah,
Nejira and the pro hero she's working under, and they get a lot of compliments like, hey, guess what? You guys are pretty much already a valuable asset. Clearly, we think we can trust you, so we're gonna let you in. We're thinking of teaming up with another hero to stop something big.
Secret mission.
Yeah. Which Nejira pipes in going a team up is when 2 heroes work together.
Oh, okay. By the way, it's Nejire.
Nejire,
yeah,
sorry.
Or Nejire. I say Nejire because I believe.
No,
she was only in one scene this season so far, so it's hard to remember.
And one scene last year, so.
I won't lie. Okay, some people are gonna think I'm offended by this. I'm not offended. I just find it really funny.
Sorry, the animator was Yutaka Nakamura.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that
there
sounds
you go.
right. Yeah, actually, I know
Known
his
for
stuff.
good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
But,
very big name.
Every time I see Nejire, especially in this episode where she has the full out, like her actual outfit on, her boobs are the size they usually are. In the opening, for some reason,
Yeah, her rack is huge.
they're gigantic.
Yeah, no,
and I'm not
we talked about that.
not even offended about it. Some people did get offended.
confused?
I'm just like, what? Where was the?
Strangely off model.
Yeah. I'm like, whoever animated that sequence in the opening was thirsty as
It's like
fuck.
it's like the thing with Power Girl in the comics where they just
kept making
drawing
her-
her
yeah.
boobs bigger to see if anyone would notice.
Yeah.
When's someone gonna catch on?
Yeah, I thought that was really funny because I see it every time now. I can't help but see it because, like, the more we see Nejire in the wild, it's like, okay, those are...
The
what?
wilder it gets.
She's got like normal
Yeah,
She has proportions.
assets.
yeah, but yeah, so, anyway, yeah, cool opening scene.
Yeah, no,
Great.
that opening scene was awesome, and
Yeah.
it got me really excited to watch the episode. I think it was a good place to start.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I-
get to see a little bit of what Attica and Froppy are doing.
They get a cool team-up move where
Yeah.
Uraraka makes like all the rocks float, and Froppy just sends them crashing down with her tongue. Really cool stuff.
Yeah. I have to say, one of the things in this season that I've been a little here or there on has been the overall direction.
Okay.
Because I think I myself and other people have noticed this, that there is an underlying current that's happening, and I think they've kind of done a somewhat semi-successful job at really connecting what's going on episode to episode. I feel like this is the first time we're feeling things actually start to ramp up, this and maybe the last. But we're 5 episodes into the season, and yeah, now I'm starting to actually kind of feel like we're getting somewhere.
I think it's one of those things where you just need the slow opening sometimes to really build up to something cool.
Yeah.
I think this season has a lot to introduce and get you going with before it can really kick off with all the cool stuff it wants to do. And like, as much as I was kind of bummed by the slower starting episodes, this was definitely among one of the first episodes of the season to make me like, oh hell yeah, I love my hero, and I'm remembering that.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Sometimes they have some real fun down the line. You just got to do the boring stuff at first and do the right setup, and then later you'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you finally met one of my favorite characters in the series, and maybe my favorite character this arc. Fat Gum!
Fat Gum.
Fat Gum!
If you watch the dub, voiced by Kyle Hebert, and
Yep.
he was a great choice for that. It works perfectly.
I actually watched it in Japanese, so I got to hear, God, they actually announced his actor. I believe it might be the same person who plays Hinata from Haikyuu. I might be wrong on that one, though. It was a certain actor. Anyway, but yeah, I'm so happy that we finally get to see big old Fat Gum in action. Yeah, I feel like this entire episode had to do. Wow, was it almost the entire episode had to do with the stuff?
It basically kept cutting back and forth between Fat Gum and Red Riot and the stuff with Shigaraki and
It was cross-cutting
Overhaul.
between them explaining their
Yeah.
plan and then the heroes
dealing
discovering
with
their
the plan.
Yeah.
Because we get Shigaraki talking to Overhaul, basically being like, look, I get it. We kind of got off on the wrong foot. You want to use our reputation. I want to use your techniques and stuff that you have at your disposal, all your resources.
But it's just some ground rules. My people gonna need some respect.
Yeah. I need you to understand this is a partnership. I am not working for you, and hey, you're not working for me. We're all kind of in this together in a very shaky alliance because we might hate each other, but we hate the rest of the world more.
Yeah, and also like he's still not over.
And you owe us an arm.
An arm, and also like he's like no, you kill not our.
You killing Big Sis Mag
Yeah.
is very different from us killing a nameless thug of yours.
Someone you didn't care about. We cared about this person, basically.
And you know the weird part is
I think he's right.
He's right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that makes that scene work is that Shigaraki even himself knows like, no, our guys, we like our guys. You guys
don't give a
just
shit about
idiots.
your
Yeah.
people.
I also
Fuck
think
your
it's
tits.
like he's also
Mine are my friends.
kind of expressing he's like our group is probably smaller than yours. You're an organized crime outfit. You have a lot of thugs to just throw at things.
We're
a family.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're this little crime family that you came in and killed one of us.
It's like Fast and Furious. Like,
Yeah.
we're a family. We're like a family.
Shigaraki
Let's say
just drops
grace.
a big Corona in front of the Overhaul. It's all about family.
We get around the dinner table every now and again and say grace together, like my dad used to.
All right, in the live-action remake, Vin Diesel clearly playing All for One.
Yeah. But yeah. So
but he reveals from his actually, first of all, he reaches into his jacket pocket, which gets all the guards like immediately on him. The sniper guy we kind of saw a little bit before just points a gun at his head, and the little dude kind of transforms or something and like kind of goes into a personality shift.
Mimic.
Yes, mimic. And so we kind of get a kind of maybe a tease of what his powers might be or what they entail.
yeah.
But after Overhaul calls off his dogs, he pulls out the little needle we saw earlier. He's like, "What's this about?" And conveniently, the scene transfers over to where we're gonna find out what it is all about.
Yeah.
So Fat Gum, Red Riot, and Sun Eater, which is a cool fucking name, are patrolling the streets. They're taking their walk around, and Fat Gum's getting offered takoyaki from takoyaki stands. It's pretty fun. And we find out that little Sun Eater is a shy boy. A shy little anxious
Which we found out a
boy.
little bit about that last season, but here, like,
We
you get a
get much
firm
more,
establishment
yeah.
of just, he's adorable.
Yes, he is. He's actually really cute.
And
He's just.
He just seems allergic to happiness and positivity and encouragement. Anytime someone's like, "Hey man, you did it! I'm proud I had that win." He's just,
He's such a soft boy.
just leave me alone.
I love.
It's not that he doesn't like positivity, but he doesn't feel worthy of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got a real bad self-esteem issue, which in the sub they kept referring to it as a weak mind,
Mental weakness.
mental weakness,
Yeah.
and like and all that. And like, how do they refer to it in the dub?
In the dub, I think they say like your self-image and
yeah,
your
that's what they
esteem,
meant.
maybe.
But
Yeah.
like in the Japanese subbed version, in the English subbed version, they kept saying like weak-minded and stuff like that.
Yeah. I
It's
think
like,
at
it sounded harsher than it was.
I think
So
at one
that's-
point he does say something like, "We need to work on your mental state," maybe. Like,
yeah, but it's self-esteem,
yeah,
right?
yeah, but-
Yeah. Calling it a mental weakness is a very clinical way to refer to it because for the heroes, they treat it sort of like, oh, he's mentally strong in these areas where he's very determined, very
skilled and aware.
very skilled. But his mental weakness is he's very sensitive and he doesn't have a very good self-esteem.
Yeah, presumably it's not offensive in Japan or an insult to say someone's weak mind, like as
Yeah.
a mental weakness.
Yeah.
But I just took it as okay, self-esteem. They're talking about self-esteem.
Strange term to hear for sure.
And I didn't think it didn't really much occur to me because they're talking about it in a very clinical sense
Yeah.
of, again, for Kirishima, his physical weakness is that he has no long range attacks.
Mm-hmm.
One of his physical strengths, though, is that when it comes to up close, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He can plow through things because he's so
Practically unmatched.
yeah. And so yeah, for poor old Sun Eater, he's got some self-esteem issues, even though his power is potentially really cool. And we even get to see some of that here, where a bunch of drug peddlers are on the run, and he has to help Fat Gum take them down. And he uses octopi, clams, and chicken. Because when he eats stuff, he then can take on
Physical attributes.
physical attributes.
I want like Grant. How did you feel like as the newcomer?
I thought that was a cool reveal. I like that power. That's a neat idea. It's one of those things where we're introducing so many characters that I'm becoming more and more suspicious that a lot of these cool powers we'll maybe see like twice and then like never again. So I don't know exactly what kind of potential we'll get to see here with this.
Well, and luckily, like already you can see them consolidating these characters into a
Yes.
single
into
story.
a unit. Yeah. And another interesting note, I thought, like it was just kind of a throwaway line, but they're trying to catch these villains who are on the run, and one of them escapes, and Fatcom's just like, that one has the same power as Edge, like the superhero we saw last season who was like number 3 or 4 in the charts, who could just basically turn himself into paper and do stuff. So I think it's kind of neat that it's just like, yeah, there's also guys who just have the same power as other people, and
Yeah, which they brought
differently.
that at the beginning too, right? With the two guys fighting.
Oh yeah, they
because
both had
the
the
same
gigantic power. Okay, yeah, good point. I hadn't thought about that connection there.
Yeah.
It's a thematic through line.
And we've basically seen a very similar thing with Tets and,
As
and
Kirishima.
Yeah.
Which Tets is the worst goddamn name. But yeah, so
Tits.
Tets. Anyway, so But yeah,
They catch most of the villains, essentially. They cheer on Sun Eater, who gets very uncomfortable about it.
Can I point out one thing that Sun Eater does that I sort of love, and I feel like this was him trying to look cooler? When he takes out that one dude, he's got the chicken feet, the clam hand, the octopi hand, but he also has wings. And he even says, I didn't really need the wings. And part of me was like, you just grew the wings because you knew that would look cool, didn't you?
I actually got the impression that like the wings just sort of came with the feet, and he's like, okay, that's not what I was going for.
That's, you know what, that's also possible.
Well, it's one of those things where the implication is he ate all of this before the mission. So he's like, I don't know if I'm going to need this, but these are the 3 things I'm going to eat to give me powers tonight.
Or maybe he was like, okay, just in case, I have the wings.
Yeah, I can fly out of here if things get dicey. And he's like, looks like I didn't need their wings.
And it seems like he has this system of like foods that help him the most, like long range stuff with the octopus.
A nice up close slap with the clam, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
and then talons for like grabbing people and whatnot, and having some powerful feats.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't Dragon Ball. Let's not talk about feats. So, they take out these drug peddlers, but apparently there's still one of them left in the crowd. And he's got a gun!
And he takes a shot at our boy Sun Eater.
Yeah.
And lands a direct hit.
On his shoulder.
Kirishima tries to help him get shot himself, but his hardening protects him from the bullet. Which is not an actual normal bullet. It is one of these needle things that we've seen previously from the villain's side, where it is revealed, essentially, that Sun Eater can no longer use his quirk after he has been struck by this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which big deal.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't think we really get much more on what Overhaul's real plan with it is, but he's just like, I'm gonna shake up the world order with these things.
We're gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah. Like, it's just this is gonna cause problems, and he's right.
Yeah. And then it's just pretty much all Kirishima for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. So Kirishima chases this dude down an alley, and he tries to fight back. Apparently this dude's got a quirk where he can extendo knife his arm or other parts of his body.
But it only goes out like 3 inches.
Yeah. Which he technically think he couldn't get on a plane like that.
Yeah. But like, he's like, it's not useful. I'm like, I don't know. If you learn to fight, that's really useful. But
oh yeah, and
just gotta put a little effort in, dude.
Yeah.
He didn't go to UA. He's not getting those kind of pep talks.
Hey, that is sort of an interesting thing that I want to touch on here before we get into the rest of it. Isn't it so interesting where he says, I just wanted to be strong and use my powers, and I'm like, wow, you know what? That's really interesting because you've got a kid chasing you down who probably thought the same when he was young, but he got into school. And it's like, damn, you got to wonder how many of these kids, if they'd been enrolled in programs like this, could have probably been better off.
I feel like, Stephen, I can't remember if it was you who brought this up, but we've kind of talked about how the theme building is how this is kind of undoing the world division of hero and villains, and that Deku might be the hero for all. And ever since you mentioned that, I've noticed like a lot of the villains, like I know it's indicative of their their following of Stain and all that stuff, but just like even this guy's like, you so-called heroes do everything, and you don't think about those of us who have to live in the shadows.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of emphasis on like the people who are villains are just people who society's left behind, and they resent that.
Yeah.
And the show seems to present that as a genuine, real problem, not just, well, these guys just need to get over it. Like, no, it sucks.
Too bad bad people keep being born poor anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, from episode 1, like, we see the negative sides of hero culture. Like, with Mount Lady being actively,
stealing the spotlight.
Stealing the spotlight, just trying to get famous, using her sexuality in order to promote herself.
Which is something we actually talked about. Like, I think we even paused the episode
to talk real quick about like branding for heroes.
There's this huge sign that just says "Might" with All Might flexing on it,
and we started wondering like, well, does he get the money from that? Or does somebody does someone else?
Does his agency get the money from that? Does he get a cut?
Does he give money to charity for it? Like what? How does he do that?
Yeah.
And I assume that heroes can merchandise themselves because that's part of the motivation for people like Mount Lady.
Yeah. And so I'd like to think that there are a bunch of heroes out there who donate all of their money or a significant amount of their money to charity, and some of them don't, and they get a lot of shit from other heroes.
Yeah, well, and like, except I don't think they get shit because like they already talk about how being a hero is a capitalistic venture for a lot of people, including Erotica.
Yeah.
Her goal is to support her
and that's
family
not
with
looked
her
down
hero
upon,
work.
but it does also seem to be treated as kind of a problem when that's your main motivator, not to help people.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously like when you pay attention in My Hero, there's a whole through line of just societal issues that reflect our own.
Yeah. So I found that very interesting. I would absolutely kill for an entire manga chapter or an episode or something that goes into how heroes merchandise themselves and where the money goes.
Sorry, so someone points out a very good point. Ash Barian says Deku's first words in the series are, "Not every man is created equal."
There you go.
Good point. Yeah, I think Kotohoshi's trying to do something.
Probably.
But yeah. Anyway, like Kirishima, he's going after the guy.
Beating up beats up this razor blade guy, who then
he starts crying.
Yeah, who starts crying. And Kirishima kind of feels bad for him. He's like, "Look, man, I get it. Sometimes I feel useless too, but like, you shot my friend. I can't just let you go."
And also, if you're gonna defend your friends, defend your friends. Don't just run away.
It's super unmanly.
Yeah.
Which I love Kirishima. Like I just love the fact that
I love I think they're gonna expand upon it here, but his idea of manliness is actually a very non-toxic idea. Once they explain it, I feel, but it's not just like, oh, you can't cry.
Being masculine and tough.
Yeah,
it's
not that
it's standing
bullshit.
up for what you believe in and seeing it through and not being a coward.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's like a nice
cool.
it's a nice version of like manly.
Yeah.
But so like the guy cries and he plays on Kirishima's heartstrings a bit, and then it's like, haha, fuck you,
and injects himself with a mysterious liquid.
Yeah, actually, man, I'd forgotten about that. And he pulled that out. I'm like, oh shit, watch out, Kirishima. Oh wait, no, right.
It's the opposite.
Stabs himself.
Makes his powers more potent.
And he turns himself into that dude from season 3.
Silverfish or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was freaked out by that. I was like, oh shit. That's the exact same power.
Just
which
blades
here's the question.
everywhere.
Would he be able to have done that on his own had he practiced?
Yeah. That's really curious. I would love to see that.
And yeah, everyone's pointing out the thing that you reacted heavily to. Blade
out of the eye.
Yep.
Not okay. Not cool.
Eye stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty uncomfortable.
Of course, but then Kirishima, whenever he hardens, his eyes
have they've got cracks and stuff on them, so they are also hard as stone.
Yeah, it's like when Superman gets shot in the eye.
Yeah.
In that one bad Superman movie.
Mediocre Superman movie.
Yeah. It's no Superman 4 in terms of badness.
Yeah.
So this guy...
Man of Steel in terms of badness, because Man of Steel is bad.
Man of Steel is garbage. If you like it, you're wrong.
Okay.
I think it has some really fun visual effects, is what I'm gonna give it.
I just did it to piss somebody off. If you got pissed off, you played into my plan. You're wrong for being upset.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
There's no correct response.
There is no correct response, and that is the art of trolling.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Guy roids out his power, gets lots of blades, and Kirishima's like, "Oh man, this guy's blades are like tougher than my hardening. I'm gonna have to do something."
So then he thinks about Bakugo encouraging him, and then he gets really hard.
Yes, his thoughts of Bakugo and All Might's encouragement both kind of encourage his hardness to an unspeakable degree.
And in the subversion, they just kept talking about how hard he was getting. He's like, my hardness knows no bounds. I'm so hard right now. Like it's not that verbatim, but it really is.
We all
he thinks about Bakugo, and then he just starts talking about how hard he is.
Oh my god! This is.
I don't even consider this a crack ship. I think it's almost a canon ship.
No. It's a crack ship would be like Kirishima and the Principal. This is just a normal ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really. I didn't even notice it that much until you pointed that out to me. It's like
how much you were saying. I'm getting harder.
Yeah. But it's one of those big damn hero moments where it's like, no, this is my full hardness, and it's like. Red Riot Unbreakable, and I'm like, damn, okay, that's cool.
I will say, I think it's genuinely sweet though that Bakugo remembered something so small. That
yes,
Kirishima
I
said.
actually do want to also put some emphasis on that. That like
Bakugo pays attention.
Yeah, Kirishima like flashes back to a scene where he's looking at a couple friends and just being all down in the dumps, just being like, man, you guys have all these flashy powers that you can attack from a distance with. He's like, mine is defense, and that's kind of like. I can get really hard and maybe punch stuff harder, but like I'm never gonna be able to blow someone up from over there or cause an explosion that will bring down a huge thing. And Bakugo basically without missing a beat is like, man, don't you remember what you told me when you asked me to join your team in the rally thing or whatever?
And he's like, I think it's probably pretty cool that if you never can make sure you don't get hurt and you don't fall down.
Yeah,
he's like, and that motivates him.
And that is exactly that is actually in line with Bakugo's idea of being a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be so tough, you won't go down.
Yeah, which like that's entirely why he likes All Might. Is that he never
goes down.
Yeah.
So Kirishima gets a terrifying design or redesigned transformation. That jaw is something else.
Yeah, he goes fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Just imagine what him at full power when he's an adult
would
would look like.
Yeah, when this guy's a grown ass man doing stuff like this,
He'll look like the Abomination.
Yeah, well,
He'll look
he
like
might just have
Doomsday.
a gigantic power himself, and he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Like, just put so many layers on.
He just ends up looking like Doomsday.
He can barely move.
Yes,
So hard right now.
he has the Beyond Super Saiyan problem of just too bulky.
Yeah.
But this added defense blocks these crazy extendo blades. So the bad guy kind of just redirects. He's like, all right, well, fine. I'm just going to give you one
This
focused
endless
point.
stream of blades that I
and
can
like,
somehow do.
He's like, if a bunch of small needles aren't getting you, or a bunch of smaller blades aren't getting you, let's get you with just one big old focused spot. And Kirishima eats it like a champ and does not like.
Yeah, and he's also saying like, hey, these people still haven't gotten away yet. There's people in these buildings. He's hitting me, good.
Yeah.
And then he just busts through.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a pretty good scene. It's got some. It's nice to see some action in this season.
Yes.
I won't lie. Thank you. Like really, could use a little bit more of that. And second, getting to see our boy Kirishima up in the spotlight is always a plus.
Yeah, he's a good character, and people liked him since season 1. I think.
Yeah, I've always thought he was like a fun character, but kind of like I even sort of fell for the same thing he did, where I was like, but his power isn't like that exciting. Like compared to the stuff we've got in the roster, this isn't too much to really.
That's
look
Horikoshi's whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that like start off with something that doesn't seem that great, but then
And
like
just kind of
no, but
subvert
if you
your
think about it this
expectation
way,
with it,
it's
yeah.
great.
By the way, can we just talk about like, man, those people behind me still haven't run away. I'll have to take his blades onto myself, and I'm like, why is no one running away? Like this isn't one of those
They're
huge.
rubbernecking.
Yeah, like crazy. This isn't even one of those moments where something horrible is like oh god, what do you call it? Like a natural disaster where everybody's taken off guard. It's one thing that's happening over there. Everyone should be able to notice. Wow, okay, we don't.
This is a problem. We should
Yeah.
get away.
Yeah.
Also, to be fair, a lot of it was him thinking. This probably happened over the course of a few seconds.
Yeah. It does. It's just really funny. Although
This whole fight was like half a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he breaks through the beam of swords that's being shot at him, and just gives the guy a big old punch. I know he names it something. It's like Red Riot turret shot
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of decks him. One thing I kind of want to point out, a lot of this episode had a lot of like Japanese characters going on the screen, and then there were subtitles for them. Normally it was exactly what they were saying for their moves. But I feel like they only did that for maybe like 2/3 of them. A lot of them would flash up with no subtitle whatsoever.
Huh.
It's not so much that I have like a problem if they don't. It's just I wish they would be consistent.
About it, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're not gonna put it, then just don't put it on any of them. And if you are gonna put it, probably just put them on all of them.
Right.
Just because sometimes I'm like, sometimes it's easy to lose what the actor is saying in the heat of the moment with a bunch of sound effects and blasting noise.
Yeah.
Then it's nice to be like, okay, he said Red Riot, Javelin, something.
Yeah.
But he knocks this guy out. Things seem like a win. The crowd kind of cheers him on a little bit. He gets over, the guy's crying again.
Yeah, the waterworks come out again.
Yeah.
And he's like, haha, I tricked you, I'm leaving.
Yeah, and
then
bounces out of there with one big blade as like a pogo stick, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
But turns out Kirishima wasn't here alone. Backup had arrived just in time. Our boy Fat Gum.
Yep. And
On the scene.
And I love the shot where Fat Gum has him stuck into his goddamn abdomen. And the blades are just coming out, but they're
Thought they
doing
would pop
nothing.
him like a balloon, but nah.
Yeah,
No.
well, and also, like, I like that what he says, which is that, like, you know, villains have lots of ways to win. They can kill people, they can get away, they can make you stop, like, beat you up till you can't fight anymore. You know, all this stuff. We have only one way to win, which is to capture the villain. Which I like that killing isn't even an
It's
option.
not the option.
That's that's not a win. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Capturing them is the only win.
Yeah, and what he says is we have to work them out to where they can't, just won't
They
fight back.
can't fight
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, and I'm like, huh, Okay.
I like that
I like that.
version of being heroic. It's like, no, killing a bad guy isn't a way to win. You want to stop the bad guy.
That's kind of a last resort sort of thing.
Yeah. That you've kind of failed in a way if you have to kill them at the end.
Yeah. And so it's a pretty good moment. And again, more fat gum.
Also, Kirishima's transformation runs out just as this guy kind of gives up his attack, letting us know that this big beefy power up does come with the expense of you can't do it for very long. You can't just walk around all day like this.
Yeah. Your classic shonen, like
I can only do this for 30 seconds. I can only be hard for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
but I'm harder than anyone, I promise.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if he actually were to stay that hard for more than 4 hours, he would have to then consult a doctor.
It would be a medical emergency for sure.
Trying to tell you didn't have to grab it, but you grabbed the hardness anyway.
I grabbed the hard Kirishima.
He's a teenager.
I was gonna say that is inappropriate.
Oh, really? Mr. talking about Bakugo gets him hard?
They're both teenagers.
Okay. You know what? Fine. Fair. You know what? All right.
Who cares if teenagers fuck each other?
I do. So
Gonna move
immoral.
On. Moving on.
So Kirishima fills in Fat Gum and Sun Eater about what happened, how this guy used some sort of weird like quirk booster. To which Fat Gum mentions, he's like, "Oh man, we've outlawed that stuff. It must have been a black market thing. The ones in the U.S. tend to last about an hour. So this must have just been some black market back alley one. Was in the dub."
Man.
And I was like,
missed the part about America.
and I was like, that's pretty odd that they would just like. I don't know if that was like an additional line for the dub or if that was in the sub at all, but just the concept of like, okay, it only lasts that long. Must have not been a great one. The ones in the U.S. last about an hour. Like, whoa.
Wow.
I don't remember a line about anything in the U.S.
Oh, yeah. Wait, didn't they say it was from China?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
All they say is it's black market. U.S. ones are normally better than that, but
Gotcha.
they're illegal either way. And this is when Fat Gum kind of lets in that he is also, I think, aware of some big overarching stuff and is probably going to be letting Kirishima in on it as we go. But just before that, actually, I kind of got ahead of myself. The crowd looking on gives Kirishima a bunch of props for all the work he did. They're like, hey, like it's great that Fat Gum's here to really stop this like once and for all, but yo, kid, Red Riot is a name I'm gonna remember. Like you are a hero, and thank you. And like that has a big emotional moment for him, and we get like hints of a weird flashback where we see it looks like Acid Girl running away from something and a big villain at a building, and Kirishima just has like this dramatic like, if I was this strong then, would things have been different? Like line. So
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing flashbacks.
Yeah, big ol'. I have a feeling we're gonna find out some past trauma with Kirishima, and maybe he has known Acid Girl longer than we know.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing what that's all about. But after he kind of breaks out of that mental trance of thinking about that, he just has a big emotional thank you to the people, and I really like that. I like these kids who have dreamed of being heroes, who have been put through all this stuff kind of in private and among only other heroes or their classmates, kind of finally getting to be in front of the world properly when it's not just for fun sport thing, and it's like actually real stakes and everyone's recognizing them as the real deal, which I think is very good.
Yeah,
Very into that.
Yeah, like showing people other than Deku and Bakugo being successful at what they're doing. It's like, no, this entire class has gone through a lot of shit, so they're just abnormally good at what they do now.
And poor old fucking Bakugo's gotta sit around while the entire class starts pointing out like, oh shit, look at you guys already making waves. You're just students, but everyone's gonna know your name before you hit the scene as profs, and it's like, that's pretty cool.
And then talking about like, are you gonna get fans like Mount Lady? And it's like, oh god, I hope not.
Oh god.
Yeah, we do get credits kind of after the scene with Kirishima.
You just get a whole other scene.
Yeah, and then we get a long post-credit scene.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be in the next episode. It's just a scene that's
Yeah.
after the credits.
Definitely feels like it could have just been the last scene of the episode before credits, but either way.
To be fair, the way that it ended was super good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, I think they did because they wanted that dramatic ending.
To
But
be
they were
the
also like,
stamp.
okay, we have enough time after the credits to kind of give people...
But yeah, pictures of Uraraka and Froppy and Kirishima are all circulating the internet, people cheering them on, being like, wow, look at these new cool people on the scene, it's awesome. Bakugo's fuming.
So I'm saying that they forget why Bakugo isn't also doing those things. It's because he and
him and Todoroki failed their license exam.
Yeah, failed the license exam, so they have to retake the exam.
It is illegal for them to use their powers in situations like this.
Yeah.
But they're all getting excited and jazzed about how much credit they're getting for their work studies program. And Deku, we kind of cut back to him, and he's like, "Man, I'm real happy to see that things are going well for my friends. I'm kind of letting my guard down at school. This is." But then I just think about Eri.
Yeah.
And then suddenly very somber tone again, and then actual end. So I think we're gonna be moving into some real stuff real soon.
Yeah.
Is my expectation from that point.
So it is really interesting to see Deku dealing with the anxiety of this. And that's kind of what it is. A traumatic incident happened, and now every time he's trying to enjoy himself, he keeps getting called back to that. Mm-hmm. He can't get past it because there's just nothing that he can do. So it's actually really great to see every scene with him. It keeps coming back. So I'm kind of looking forward to the next episode. Mm-hmm. An uncomfortable talk.
Yeah.
What a name.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we get some previews of some great character designs. I remember when I saw them in the manga, I was like, oh yeah, I remember liking that character design. We don't see that character enough.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's a big lineup in the opening that I kind of slowed down and watched the opening today since I had gotten introduced to Fat Gum and kind of saw the big three in their outfits and Ryukyu. So I was like, all right, am I at the point now where I'm recognizing all these characters they're throwing at me in the opening? Not yet, but then I saw this preview and I was like, oh, that looks like most of them.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling we're gonna get the anti-overhaul coalition of heroes and kind of see what they're all about, because the next thing seems to be Night Eye calling a big meeting and just going, all right, I'm gonna get everybody on the same page about this overhaul business because we gotta move.
Yeah.
And
I'm really curious though. So we're 5 episodes in, so we're about 7-8 more episodes until we get a new opening. Sorry, that's the kind of thing that I every time I watch the opening, the song's grown on me.
I was going to say, this opening has actually grown on me a bit.
I like the song. The visuals are still boring, but
yeah,
I like
the visuals. The visuals are still so boring.
The only part visually that I really dig is, and I'm just always a sucker for this in every anime opening, is just all right, we're going to kind of zoom across. You're just going to see everyone do something cool as they fly by.
Yeah,
the big montage of here's heroes and villains kind of all squaring off and doing a big flashy move. Yeah. I like that. The rest of it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, it's a bit dull. I'm looking forward to whatever the second opening of the season is going to be. I'm hoping it's better.
Yeah, it's going to come. Knowing what's about to happen, it's going to come when the shit's hitting real hard.
So hopefully it'll be real dramatic and cool.
Yeah. I'm really
because we're about to really get into it. I think we're not too long now before things really get going.
Unless their plan involves a lot of subterfuge and slow build up. I feel like we're kind of getting ready to hit the ground running.
I could be forgetting things, but I feel like we're about to really get into it.
Well, yeah, as I said before, once the action in this season starts, once the actual
just kind of snowballs.
Yeah, it gets crazy. So, and the next episode is kind of the last bit before that happens. So, but yeah. Anyway, so I think that's it. I think that's unless anybody else has anything to talk about this episode.
For this one in particular, trying to think. We didn't really talk about it. I thought it was real cute that Kirishima had the little flashback of him kind of cornering Sun Eater at school
that was funny.
And being like, introduce me to whoever you're working with.
Who are you working for?
I gotta go. I'm sick of being the guy who's falling behind in my class. Tell me what's going on. And also in this flashback where we see Bakugo, we find out a fun little bit that I think is amazing. He just basically goes everyone's got cool moves except for me. And I guess Kaminari's like, hey, dickwad, see me charge your phone again. I was like, that's great. That's amazing that's a thing they have him do.
Yeah, he just charges people's phones for them and stuff. It's great.
To be fair, I really liked Kaminari's
I think Kaminari is going to get his time to shine at one point.
Yeah.
Because his powers obviously has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I can't remember
if he doesn't turn dumb after he uses it.
I honestly can't remember if this is something that the game kind of spoiled for me when I saw what he could do, or if it was a power he actually used at some point. I'm just forgetting. But I know he has like a cool power where he's basically just like, I'm gonna make a circuit with my electricity and you're gonna be stuck.
Just electric powers.
Yeah.
That's it. And like when he does a big, huge electric blast, he turns stupid.
Okay.
That's when he gets like that.
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this
good.
episode. It's a good one.
Good episode. Looking forward to what comes next.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the My Hero Academia Reviews, and you'll probably see us next Monday at 5 p.m. like usual.
Sounds good.
Presumably.
If you're here live, stick around. Pokemon Nuzlocke will happen in about an hour and 20 minutes. So see ya.
So stay here that entire time.
Yeah, don't do anything else. Just stare at your screen.
Otherwise you
Don't even
can't
blink,
watch the
because
Nuzlocke.
you might miss something.
We are gonna walk away though, so you're just gonna be looking at an empty table. And here, just let me.
Like, oh yeah, let's give you some
turn that on
visual
for you.
flair there.
Yeah, you'll have that on.
See whatever stupid stuff they're doing in the
Oh,
song
yeah,
today.
yeah. Well, I brought my trumpet in. I'm gonna hopefully find a way to use it.
I love that you guys are letting it get stupid.
No, yeah, that's the whole idea. That's the hope. But anyways, thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Goodbye.
No Rick and Morty.
Yes, no Rick and Morty this week.
No Rick and
Just for the
Morty.
premiere.
No Pickers Rick.
Now we'll say goodbye.
See ya.